Hello, I'm Greg Granger. Welcome to TravelOz. This week we return to Norfolk Island, Captain Cook's paradise in the Pacific. Norfolk Island is a place of dramatic beauty, forests of pine and flowers, and a coastline of steep basalt cliffs created by a volcano 3 million years ago. Peter Cassidy reckons the best way to explore them is by kayak. Peter, spectacular coastline here. These basalt, this is volcanic remains, this basalt rock, eh?
Yeah, in fact, the island's actually approximately 1/3 its original size. Through erosion, it's come down to these magnificent basalt formation that's left here today. You'll see some great formations where the lava's flowed and been quenched by the ocean, and we'll see some formations where it forms honeycomb effect on the basalt.
And you've given those formations some names, eh?
Yeah, there's one called the Bridal Veil. We've got Cathedral Rock, Elephant Rock, some magnificent rock formations.
There's a huge arch of basalt right over the top of us, eh?
Yeah, it is. It's really spectacular, and there's actually a magnificent blowhole. If it's in action, mate, you'll certainly get a bit wet.
We're going into this blowhole now. That's spurting quite a lot of white water, eh?
Yeah, it really goes off big time when you get a bit of swell running. It's really spectacular to see.
So if the water's reasonably calm and flat as it is today, this is a tremendous experience. You can get right up close to this basalt rock.
Yeah, it is. In fact, I'd say 90% of people I take always say it's the highlight of their holiday.
Beneath the waves, there are other challenges. Dive master Jamie Edward knows the best dive spots. And Jamie, how would you describe the diving here off Norfolk?
Oh, what can I say? The diving here is fantastic, Greg. I mean, we've got above average everything. You know, everything you can think of in diving: visibility, coral, species, number of species, loads of stuff to see here.
And we're seeing a huge number of fish. As soon as we hit the water, fish everywhere. Small trevally.
Yep, small trevally, what we call Ophi locally here, the local name for it.
Because the waters are basically alive. As everywhere you look, trevally, fish everywhere.
Yep, fish everywhere. Smaller stuff, bigger stuff, but the trevally really do stand out. Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's right, because we're able to swim right through them or around them, and they don't spook at all. They stay around us or even swim with us.
Yeah, exactly. And what better feeling than that? You know, sitting there in the water, big cloud of trevally hanging around with you.
And the corals down here, we're getting a big range of coral everywhere.
Well, that really is the outstanding feature on Norfolk diving, is the coral. We have everything: soft coral, hard coral, plate corals, anything you can imagine that's got, you know, got the tag coral in it. We've got it, and it's in abundance.
Inland, there's a series of trails through Norfolk's national parks. Luke Adams is my guide. And this is the national park, eh?
Yeah, we've got 650 hectares of national park on Norfolk.
Right.
And that's just about a quarter of the whole island. And it's also run by the Australian National Parks and Wildlife Service.
Right.
And they do a lot of the maintenance of the park here. There are lots of native species of birds and plants through here as well, endemic to Norfolk.
On the island's far north coast, high winds have caused some trees to grow sideways.
Oh, these are the African olive trees. They're actually a weed on the island, but they're quite spectacular here. The weather today is beautifully calm, but in the summertime we have a fairly consistent nor'easterly blowing, and these trees have learnt to adapt, just to go with the wind. Usually the olive has as much root below the ground as you can see tree above it. And they're very hardy. Those trees have been there a long, long time. But they're at layers down the cliff.
Margaret Christian is showing me around her cliffside property, one that's home to a big collection of Norfolk Island's 8 species of endemic birds. Birds like the sacred kingfisher. Margaret is such a fan of the birds here, she's written a book about them, which features one of her favourites, the masked booby. So Margaret, you've got quite a few of these masked boobies around your property.
Yes, we have a number of them nesting on the cliff top now, which is quite exciting because they've only established here in the last few years.
So they'll lay their eggs here?
Yep.
They'll hatch their chicks?
That's right.
And the chicks will grow to what sort of age before they'll fly off?
They're staying here all year round, which is quite amazing because Larger numbers of them are here in the summer because they are a migratory species, but we are getting some staying over the winter. Because they're big birds, they like to have an updraft so that it's easier to take off, and so the cliff edges are their preferred locations. Most masked boobies you see around the world have yellow eyes, but the ones on Norfolk have brown eyes.
Right.
And they're actually only found in the Kermadec Islands, north of New Zealand, Lord Howe Island and here. And there's work being done at the moment that's probably going to make them into a separate species or subspecies.